Okay, as an outro, I figured I would show my last sales just to prove the point. So, for example, let's go a bit down. These are like the offshoots. If nothing works, you can just sell back the base for like 20 exalts. That usually sells, especially on Armours. For example, there's a 2 Divine sale with where we slammed some rarity, and then I got a good corrupt. These are like 300 exalts with a pretty good corrupt, and we slammed tier 3 energy shield. This is like an offshoot with a bad hybrid, but the mods itself were good enough to be able to top it, and so there was like 100. Yeah, this was. You see, these are like all like these aren't like insane sales, but since the cost is so low, we're still making just profit, profit, profit. Only for 75, even though we didn't hit only like a bad one. And 50 exalts, and we hit. I'm not even sure. We hit something. I think I knocked off with the... Yeah, I think I got Spirit and I knocked off the Abyssal modifier with the Corrupt. Yeah, we got 6 Divines for that. This was like so we got a second socket here, and we did slam tier 1 increased energy shield. This was a really good one. Here we slammed like tier 2 flat with a bad Corrupt, but 900 is like a breakpoint, so we got 3 Divines. Yeah, and this was 6... So it just keeps on going like this. So I think because I don't have that many subscribers, you can still do this and the market won't be cornered that much. If you're like the first one watching this, and if this video won't get that many views, you'll probably be able to, if you use this guide, make a pretty good amount of... Hey, this is gonna be a crafting guide without a cool and juicy intro, but just it's something basic. I figured I would... I've been experimenting with the new desecration mechanics, and I noticed that there's like a corner in the market, especially on ES gear, because ES gear is very cornered right now. So high budget ES gear is very pricey, like high ES armors and stuff. So I figured, why can't we just craft them? Because crafting in PoE 2 is rather problematic since Chaos Orbs are so expensive and you can't really target craft. So I figured, why not simply buy a base and then finish crafting it, because Desecration gives you somewhat deterministic crafting, and it does actually work. So I will showcase so you've got 2 ways to do it. You pretty much get yourself a base with two modifiers that both increase the base, so in this case energy shield. You're looking for a good baseline, at least 1 tier 1. Because if we now desecrate this and we add, for example, like a tier 2, like a tier 1 hybrid, this actually quadruples its value. And if you quality it, if you put some sockets on it, and if you maybe even corrupt the third socket, you can sell it for divines. This is very easy money and a good way to spend your gold. So, for example, you can also get bases that only have 1 energy mod, and there now you have the opportunity to gain like an even better one, because of course you got the ability to slam tier 2 increased energy shield and then desecrate. So for example, let's go ahead and craft this base. I'll showcase how. So first thing we do is we check whether all suffixes are full, because we don't want to desecrate any suffixes. So we exalt with the Omen, so only suffixes can get added. Their suffixes are full, so the next step will be to to exalt this, and of course for the video. So for example, we hit tier 5 increased energy shield, which isn't that good. So now we got 1 tier 1, 1 tier 5, 1 tier 1, 1 tier 5. And the next step will be to desecrate them both, which will add a prefix modifier, because all suffixes are full, 3 suffixes, 3 suffixes. And now we will go ahead and reveal both. And what this allows us to do is to pretty much deterministically get the third mod going, which is really nice for profit crafting. So let's reveal this. For the video, it probably won't be insane. Yeah, we got unlucky. So even if it's a 1 in 3, it's still random. So this base, for example, like this chest is worth like nothing. But as you'll see, I'll be showcasing another batch. Sometimes you get a little bit more lucky, and on average you definitely do make profit. So for example, we got 2 bricks here, which is pretty bad for the video showcase, but that's probably why people aren't doing it more. I will now be like displaying, 1 second, let's check this. So, I mean, it's still worth, I bought the space for like 20 chaos. Let's see how far we can push it. Maybe we can at least salvage the gloves. Yeah, okay. So let's go ahead and quality. I'll just go ahead and quality both as a showcase. Quality both. Make sure you get max suffixes on both. So that's it. And now we Omen of Corruption. And we actually hit it. We bricked the vile rope. And we added another socket to this. So what we do now is we add a... So with the 2 suffixes, we're now able to hit 2 of these. So this is now a 245 base. 245. Some res. So this is now 3 divines. Of course, if you add the dexterity, it can probably sell way easier. We can check for 1 socket. As you can see, it's like between 2 to 4 divines. Pretty good. Pretty good. Pretty good. So we definitely made profit, even on this one. I will be now playing in another video of how I crafted another batch. Okay, so this will be another batch. Got a lot of bases. So first thing we do is fill up the suffixes. Get the Omen going for that. It will block any prefix attempt. Okay, no suffixes. So now we can blindly... Every single one now has 5 mods, as you can see. Because we always were looking for the open prefix. Some are better, some are worse. Now everything gets desecrated. And we shall see whether we get lucky. Profit margins on boots and gloves are always lower than on... These aren't like GG bases, I will say that. We could have gotten like tier 1 bases, I just wanted to buy some more for the showcase of the video. So let's start from right. We got tier 1 increased energy shield, which is really nice. Really nice start. I think these might just go up to more than 200 now. Yeah, very nice, very nice. You see triple res. Oh, these are actually like really good. To 20, 35. So these are like 5 divines now, and I just bought this for 20 exalts. Let's keep on going. This is likely a brick. Likely brick as well. Ooh, tier 1 again. Damn. Tier 1 flat. I think. Ah, tier 2. Still good. Ooh, tier 2. Jesus. I'll showcase after I've quality them. And the silver one though. Flat is better on boots. Some rarity, sure. When in doubt, rarity. So now we take the chests. Let's go for the ES first. Pretty bricked. Tier 1 hybrid. Yeah. Okay, this one can be well. And now we'll see. Ah, low tier. I know some of them are somewhat bricked, but we'll just go ahead and ignore that and quality them anyways. Some of these boots will really go up a lot. If you're saving money, this step might not be too smart though. But we'll do it because I want to corrupt every single one. Okay. To buy some more armors. Yeah. Okay. Next step, after having qualityed and having done the craft, we're just now gonna put in the sockets. 2 on the chests, next on the boots. Next up, Omen of Corruptions. Okay. You can skip this step though if you don't want to do it, because we can lock in some safe profit, but I am going for the bigger ones, because what we are looking for here is effectively a third socket, because if we get the third socket we can push this up way higher. Might have to buy the correct runes. We're looking for greater iron runes, but because iron runes are the ones that increase the flat. Right, so let's put in some runes. So now let's look at this. For example, we got some great boots here. Like, let me actually sort these. Like actually great ones. 266, 281. 281 is pretty high. Yeah, those are too divine. But of course, we're trying to put them up a bit higher. So now we go for Omen of Corruption. 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We will need this one as well. And then we pray. Let's go. So many good ones though. Easily. We're about to break. This has... Let's look at the chest first though. Let's before I corrupt, let's see how much I could theoretically sell the bases right now for. So let's look for 880, look for some res. Yeah, there's like one divine. False, that's too specific. 426, some res. Yeah, you see there's like 100 exalts. So you're seeing like pretty much everything here is sitting at around one divine. But let's see whether we get even luckier. Ooh! Damn! Okay. So... this one fully bricked. This one is dead. So we got 1 dead, 2 increased sockets, 3 implicits with 1 energy shield. Damn, 311. We bricked the armor, said. We bricked it. Okay, we also bricked this armor. We got +1 max power charges on this, okay. We have exchanged a low roll with a higher roll, I think. Okay, and we got another socket on this. So I'll showcase next steps. So since we got another socket on all of these, as you can see now, we got multiple high ones. Let's look for 311. and move speed. Yeah, that's 3 divines. I would have thought even more, but I guess the res is pretty low. 280, 81. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, because the res is so high. So this like 18 divines. Of course, maybe a bit lower, so feel like 15. The power charge is of course a bit too special, I would guess. Yeah. This one is bricked, this one is bricked. I'm just selling them to like newbies, so I'm just like, putting them up like really low, because they're so bricked, maybe a newbie will need them, I don't know. But yeah, as you can see, this is worth a whole lot. Our investment cost was like about like 2 divines, maybe less, and these boots here are pretty nice. This helmet, these boots. You can check out this one as well. So for 68, let's look for one socket. Yeah. Okay. I think these boots here are probably gonna be worth the most though. So this is so much for the first crafting match. Maybe I will show another. Teach you or discuss and show how exactly items are valuable, like why exactly these bases are good to use at times. So for so let's say we got an ES base, right? And what we're looking for is usually high energy shield, of course, but we're also looking for good suffixes. That's what the combination makes it valuable. If it has trash suffixes and good prefixes, it's not worth anything. So we're looking for a mixture, but we're not looking for something perfect, because most people will buy all the bases that are relating to that, and you won't be making any profit. So while looking for a particular search, what I will be doing, I will usually look for example, a good prefix modifier, which would be, let's say we go for boots. So we're looking for 35 move speed, which is the sort of the affix. So there's always that one sort of the affix you're looking for. And then I'm combining it with like 50 total rest, so we have 2 separate rest modifiers. I'm also combining, and now I'm saying it needs to have like 100 energy shield, and we're finding a couple of them. So let's say this base here, right? It has tier 1 and tier 1 hybrid and tier 1 move speed. It has also two good suffixes. So if we were to slam tier 1 increased energy shield on this, this value would go up from 25 exalts to 1 divine. It's worth that much because it has the move speed as a desired prefix and 2 desired suffixes. So we're specifically looking for bases that have an empty prefix modifier, so that we may be able to slam the last modifier on it. For example, this chest right here. I bought it without the spirit, and of course also without the quality and stuff, but the spirit I slammed, and that's why it's valuable now. It has good suffixes, it has decent prefixes, and it has spirit, what everybody's looking for. So you're combining that one very desired modifier with the other decent modifiers. Same with this one. It has 35 move speed, it had okay energy shield, and then I slammed tier 2 energy shield, and suddenly it's a really, of course, and then I also corrupted a second socket, and suddenly it's a high value boot space. That's how you can convert stuff. So specifically, you can go at it from 2 stages. You can go to stage 1. Okay, the search is a bit too specific. I think gloves. Okay, so what we're looking for here is good suffixes, so more than 1 res, 2 open prefixes, and 1 tier 1 energy shield modifier, so that we may be able to slam 2 additional energy shield modifiers. These bases are very, very cheap because it only has 1 modifier, and the people who sell them don't know how to craft. If you're lucky, you will be able to like YOLO slam energy shield, And then after that, you can deterministically craft with desecration, and you may be able to get a really good one. These are more risky though, so what you probably should be looking for is stage 2. That means something like this. So that means 2 modifiers, one good, one decent one, and good suffixes. And so we're looking for 1 empty prefix, so 1 good prefix, 1 decent prefix, and then we slam the 3rd prefix and hope for energy shield, of course. How we look for these specifically is we limit the price to specifically exalted orbs, no corrupt, no desecration, and then you just try. For example, if I were to type in 300 energy shield, we would be able to see a lot of bases, not that many, with not GG rolls and stuff. So it's often smarter to simply say, okay, never mind, let's move this up a little. Let's go for 320 energy shields. Okay, now we're getting better bases, and then we can get stricter and stricter and stricter. And then buy only the best bases that are often able to be sniped. And you can do this with anything, really. You can do it with gloves, you can do it with boots, you can do it with anything. Gloves are often sniped, so these are a little bit harder to get. Usually what's easier to get is boots and helmets. So for example, let's go ahead and buy... I of course saved all the specific searches with the specific energy shield. So I'll go ahead and buy these gloves here. Usually it's a good base because that's the only way to have 2 open prefixes and that much energy shield. So let's buy that. Let's also buy the helmet. So you say we're only paying like 3 exalts because people are undervaluing these because it's not showing up in most people's searches because the values are simply too low for most people to get caught. Okay, let's also go for boots with the deflection modifier, deflection plus move speed, and a little bit of a lower rest. So that's so we're looking for more of a monk style boots. You should probably, like, the deflection and move speed is of course something many people are looking for.
Sure thing.
Okay, and that's fine for now. So let me now go ahead and finish these. I already explained this, this will be the 3rd part. I already explained how we go about it. So I will just go ahead and be a little bit faster here. Make sure all suffixes are full. Make sure there's only 1 mod. Okay, so we didn't hit anything here. Now we desecrate. Oh, well, I only have 2 desecration for it. It's actually gonna be good. I'll blindly slam one of them and I'll desecrate the other 2. Because effectively desecration works as a 1 in 3 as that 1 in 3. So we blindly slammed and we've slammed a very low energy shield, tier 6, so this is worth nothing. And now compared to this, we will be able to get 3 choices. All aren't that good, but we effectively get 3 separate exalts to slam on it. So this helmet isn't worth that much, but if you think about it, we invested only like 5 exalts to craft it, and sometimes you'll get something really good of it. For example, this. Oof. Tier 2 increased evasion and energy shield. For example, these boots are very, very good now. If we were to look for deflection and res, we're looking at like... If we finish crafting them, we're probably looking at like 2 divines. So you see, that's the whole process of it. Alright, so much for the explanation.